Thanks, guys.
Hey, Mr. Jarman.
What's up?
Can we talk?
Well, yeah, but I mean, let's talk in public.
Okay, if you want to talk here. I just made some accusations. And I want to get
What's
your
that?
side of the story. Aja.
Yeah, that's what Audrey does. She makes accusations to cover her own tracks.
Okay.
Okay, let's come down. Let me get some fresh air. I've been waiting here for 5 hours, and well, since 8:30. I was here 5 hours last night.
You don't have to tell me what happened in there, but if you don't mind, what happened. But again, that's
Well,
up to you.
clearly I don't have an ankle monitor
Okay.
because the judge realized that all this is in violation of my federal rights.
Okay. Oh, sorry, one moment. So we're here because of the protective order.
I don't know anything about that. Yesterday, I looked at my phone. It looked like my daughter had
And this
called me.
is, so when sorry, sir, I don't mean to cut you off. But because Aja did make these accusations, you're being not charged, you're being accused of a crime. Before we talk about it, I do want to read you your rights, because I have to.
Well, I'm not going to consent to being arrested right now. Okay, she can't have me arrested on hearsay. If you want to charge me with something, then charge me with it. Serve me with papers, and we'll come back, and we'll have another trial. We'll have another hearing. We'll have all that.
If I'm going to ask you questions about it, I have to read you your rights. Do you want me to go through that?
Well, are you guys going to arrest me?
Yeah.
You're going to arrest me.
Based on what I have right now, yes.
How is that possible?
Because I have evidence that you violated the protective order.
That's all hearsay.
It's not hearsay because I have evidence. I have call logs that she sent me.
Those are probably fake. She makes them up. She's done it. She's done it before. Look, I'm going to have to question the validity of any sort of arrest order like that.
Okay, well, right now you're being arrested on probable cause.
I'll be happy to go do a book and release if that's the case, but it would be illegal for you to arrest me right now.
Well, you're going to be booked as far as when the release and all that. That's something that happens separate.
Well, then I'm going to need a supervisor, so
Okay.
I'll wait here. Send a supervisor down, please.
I assume you don't have any weapons on you since you're in the courthouse.
Oh. I'll wait for the supervisor, and if you guys want to talk off the record, then let's talk off the record.
I can't talk off the record.
Well,
Okay. Okay. Like, are you related to this at all, or do you need to talk to me? Oh, okay. Yeah, you're all right.
you guys know that Aja has broken a court order more than 100 times.
Yeah, you guys is custody.
The West Valley Police has ignored. Okay, Aja knows that can be converted to 100 civil charges against her.
And the difference, and then I think you've been explaining this, but the civil side, what I'm here for today is the criminal protective orders that have been violated.
Well,
And let me just,
again, that's hearsay. That's a claim. You can't just arrest someone because someone says something or says, "Here's a text message." I can explain.
I'm gonna read you your rights, just so if we continue.
No,
That's fine.
I'll wait for a supervisor then before you do any reading of rights.
So you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney and have the attorney present with you while you're being questioned. If you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you for any questioning if you wish. You can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand these rights I've explained?
So I'm being detained based on probable cause.
Correct.
Then let's wait for a supervisor.
Okay. I'm going to contact the supervisor because that's just standard of West Valley when we do booking approvals. That being said, I do need you to stand up and put your hands behind your back, okay?
I'm not consenting to that.
Okay. That's fine if you don't
If you
consent.
wait, can I use the bathroom first?
No, not really.
Okay, so I have
Especially
to
not
pee.
with this interaction we're having.
Well, because you guys are coming in here violating my federal rights as a citizen. You signed an oath to the Constitution, correct?
Yep.
You both signed an oath, okay, to the Constitution of the United States of America. You both signed an oath. Okay, so Title 42, U.S. 1983. I mean, you guys signed an oath to the Constitution. I have federal rights. You have federal rights. 42 U.S. 1983. You go violating someone's federal rights. There's no immunity. You can be personally liable for that in federal court. So, I mean, why bother with cuffs and everything? Let's get a supervisor here. Let's talk about this.
I've talked to my supervisor. He's willing to FaceTime. Would you be okay with that?
No, I think he needs to come here in person.
Okay.
Because you're arresting me on another claim that Aja has a reputation of doing. Yesterday, I thought my daughter called me after not seeing her for 3 weeks. So rather than call back, I sent a message through the system we're supposed to use and said, it looks like Naima Nimmers called me, please let her call back. And that's why I did it. So I don't understand how that is a violation if she called me. It was right, it was like 10 minutes to 5. I looked down at the phone, I had 3 missed calls, and that one was on the 3rd. And so rather than just grab the phone and call back, I thought, okay, it looks like Naima called me. I have federal parent rights that are unalienable.
Okay.
You guys signed an oath to the Constitution. You should know about that. You should know that I have federal parent rights. It's my federal parent right as my daughter's dad. I'm on her birth certificate to make sure she's okay. That's when although I was scared because she's done that before, where she's grabbed her mom's phone, and one morning she grabbed her mom's phone and she called me 3 times, and I missed those calls, and I regretted that ever since. So when I saw that, as much as I wanted to call, I opened up the app that we're supposed to use to communicate, and that was the message I sent. I didn't send a second message. I didn't call. I didn't call police. I didn't do anything. I waited, and there was no call. And so I thought, well, that's part of this then, is I will have to continue waiting. So right then and there, I mean, 42 U.S. 1983, that is a reasonable explanation for whatever violation you were claiming to want to arrest me under. And if you violate that reasonable explanation, that puts you guys on the wrong side of federal law. And it's not your fault. I understand you're here, you're doing everything that a well-intending law enforcement officer is supposed to do. But these are the realities of it.
Okay. I've read you your rights, but let me explain to you just where I'm working. So there was a protective order served on May 23rd, 2023 that doesn't expire till May 23rd, 2026. And in that protective order, it says there was a hearing also held on May 23rd, 2023. And it was Judge Andrew Stone who issued that protective order in court. It says that you were present for that hearing. It was served in court.
I was not with a Judge Stone. Never.
I'm just telling you what I have.
Well, that's an example why the order would be questioned, because it's an illegal order.
So as of May 23rd, it has a no contact order. And being the criminal side,
Hold on,
that
let me make
trumps.
sure I write these notes down.
Okay. So it has a no contact order. And it says you may talk about parent time through text or email only.
From the May 23rd,
Yep.
it was supposed to be a mutual no contact order.
But it's
with-
not.
with
You're the
exclusion. Right, I understand. and I know
respondent.
why they
She's
did
the
that.
protected party.
And that there was supposed to be, no contact with the exception of our daughter. However,
Through email.
through
or text.
or it's called the
Family Wizard app.
Yep. And so we stuck with that. There shouldn't be any phone call logs or anything that happened. As much as Aja wants to believe that the whole world is in love with her, I am not one of those people. You can look through that, and every contact that was supposed to be made
And then
was made.
to add to that, so do you need anything else?
But again, I was never in a hearing with a Judge Frost.
Andrew Stone is what this
Oh
one
wait,
says.
Andrew Stone. Sorry, because we have Judge Faust, but Andrew Stone. I have a tremor from my childhood, so that's why I have shaky hands.
Well, I mean, all this can be scary and intimidating. I don't blame you.
No,
Whatever that is, that's
I
fine.
have it. My teacher he used to have us use mercury, and so it gave me some nerve damage, and so that's why I have a tremor. And yeah, however, during that time, there was also that we were supposed to be communicating for supervised visits for Naima. And
I think I'm good here. Do you mind calling Lillenquist? Just briefing him on what we got. That he says he's not going to submit to arrest without a supervisor present, and then just let me know. Okay, so that's one of them, but there's two.
Right, and then I was accused of violating that, and that's why we're here. But the entire protective order was entered without a trial. It was
Yeah, this second one. So this one, the second one, is a pre-trial protective order. Is what they call it. What that means, I don't know. It says pre-trial. The pre-trial protective order was served in court on December 28th, 2023.
Okay, so that's my birthday.
No, December 28th, 2023. It says it was served.
Right, no, see, they like to target birthdays and holidays. That's why they served it on my birthday, because they think it's a way to provoke people to react. And when you understand what's happening, it's... right, and I believe all those included no contact between Aja and I, unless it was through
the first one,
supervisor.
and this is where we have the issue. May 23rd says no contact except through text or email. The second one, which was served
December 28th.
Yeah, so 7 months later, after.
Right.
So 7 months later says just blatantly no contact. And so we have to operate off the most restrictive one because they're both criminal. And then to add to this, let me go a little bit further.
Wait, December 28th said no contact?
Yeah, just blatant no contact.
But we still had, we still have the orders for third-party supervisor, and that's...
yeah, but I'm just saying off this...
So I was doing any communication for that through the third-party supervisor.
Okay.
So I've never attempted to call Aja and have a phone call with her about...
But this one, I'm just letting you know what the information I'm working off of. So the pre-trial, the pre-trial, December 28th, no contact. It just blatantly says no contact through text, email, phone, social media posts. And
I haven't posted anything about Aja. I haven't.
So two things. This one would make.
I haven't driven to her house.
Sorry, go ahead. Okay, so my supervisor doesn't sound like he's coming down here, but if you'd like to talk to him, he's on the phone.
Well, can I travel to the station and meet with the supervisor there? I'll drive myself.
This is Sergeant Chris, who's our supervisor.
Well, again, I think it's fair if you guys are attempting to arrest me that I can wait here until I'm able to have someone come here in person.
Well, me as a law enforcement officer, I can affect this arrest. I'm trying to give you as much info as I can.
Well, I know, but as a U.S. citizen, I'm trying to help you guys understand that this is being done on hearsay. And
No,
I
it's
just
not
want to
hearsay.
be clear, the supervisor's not going to avoid the trip to jail.
And also just, I know that you're going to tell me you're not and whatnot, but for flight risks and everything else, no, you can't drive yourself to the station.
Okay, well,
That's
how
all
long do I need to wait to have a supervisor come here in person? I believe I'm entitled to that.
Nope.
Are
And
you hearing what I'm saying?
But it's not hearsay, Michael. What I'm saying is, and you can argue
Okay,
the
but-
validity of what I was given, but that's what court's for.
what's the name?
Sergeant Lillenquist.
Lillenquist.
This is Sergeant Lillenquist, West 5 Police. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. I'm concerned that there is an order to have me arrested that doesn't seem like it is valid, and I'm questioning the validity of that order.
Not an order, okay? So, I don't know what Detective Rotherson's explained to you, but he has probable cause to believe that you violated a protective order. It's a domestic violence related offense. Violation of a protective order, DV. Okay?
Okay, but no one's heard my side. But no one's heard my side of the story.
Okay, let me speak, and then you can give your side, okay?
Sure.
He has probable cause to believe that you violated a protective order. It's a misdemeanor A offense. It's domestic violence. It's a mandatory arrest in the state of Utah. He has to arrest you if he has probable cause to believe that you violated a protective order that's domestic violence related. Okay, go ahead and give me your side.
But how are you defining that probable cause? Because right now,
I've been provided physical evidence
what
by
I
Aja.
understand is it is hearsay. It's a claim. I shared with the officers that the only contact I'm aware of that happened was that, and I am a U.S. citizen, and I understand you're a U.S. citizen, and these two officers are U.S. citizens, and that these officers have also signed oaths to the Constitution of the United States, and that includes enforcing and that I have federal parent rights. And yesterday I noticed that it looked like there was a missed call from my daughter at 4:48, and rather than return the call, I used the communication app that was supposed to be for her to send a message that said it looked like Naima called. Please let her call me back. And then I left it at that. I didn't call back. I didn't make a single phone call. I simply, as a parent with federal parent rights, I responded to what appeared to be my child in need, reaching out to me as her dad, and I'm still her dad. I'm still on her birth certificate. And that is a very reasonable explanation as to why that may have occurred, that communication attempt occurred. And US 42.
Okay, let me stop you right there, okay?
No, I need to tell you this.
No, let me stop you right there. No, let me stop you right there and give you our side. Okay? This isn't just about a phone call made yesterday. There's been multiple contacts to your ex-wife. I'm not sure.
There absolutely have not, and that's a reasonable explanation.
That's the evidence. Listen to me.
Then I need to see that.
That's the evidence we were provided. So if he has probable cause to believe the offense happened, he's still going to document your concerns. He's going to document your side. We don't take any one person's side on this. But if he has probable cause to believe that it happened, he has to proceed forward with the charge. That's what court's for. That's what court's for. You
Understood.
can argue your case. You can argue all about the parenting rights and everything. The Detective Brothers will put that in his report.
Understood.
Your concerns about that, okay?
Okay, I understand if there is a charge, and I'm happy, just like last time, I went to the county jail and I did a book and release. Okay, I did a book and release, and I'm happy to do that again if there's another charge. No one has shown me anything. We all know that Aja Yaya Mama Jadama has a history of using screenshots and taking dates out of them and making it look like I messaged her. There is a long track record of her using messages from even 7 years ago and saying that I sent those messages, and when I didn't. And I'm just sharing this with you guys so we're all on the right side of federal law here. But 42 U.S. 1983 says if there is a reasonable explanation to question a warrant or an order, that anyone who violates that is personally liable in federal court for being sued. And so I'm just simply saying, let's take a moment, let's review that.
I'll definitely make note of the fact that you're threatening civil.
No, I'm not.
Against the department.
I'm not threatening.
Like I said, when there's a violation of the Utah code and it's a DV offense, he has to take action. Okay.
That's
cause to do so.
But what are you using to define that probable cause? You're not using.
He's already explained it, and I've already explained it.
No one has showed me any screenshots.
Are you sick, injured, or suicidal, sir?
No one has showed me any screenshots of the probable cause, so I'm demanding to see that.
Are you sick, injured, or suicidal?
Again, I'm not consenting to this.
Okay. Are you a U.S. citizen?
I'm a U.S. citizen.
Okay. Are you sick, injured, or suicidal?
I don't believe I am sick, injured, or suicidal at the moment, but maybe we should have a psychologist come evaluate that.
Well, sir, I'm not going to sit here and hold court with you over the phone. Okay. Like I explained to you, he has probable cause for the offense. Okay. Court's down the road.
Okay, but
you can bring all this forward. If Detective Brotherson is going to document all of your concerns with it, as well as the evidence that she brought forward and the statement she made as well. Okay?
That's still the probable cause. That's still not. You have to take the other side of it. No one has shown me what that probable cause is. Show me. I mean, I'm standing here a free person. No one is showing me text messages of all the violations you're saying I committed. You have to show me that. You can't just say, we think we should arrest you, and here's why. So you have to show me that. And I'm not saying this, I'm not this guy that you guys have painted me out to be, or that someone has painted me out to be.
I'm not painting you out to be anything, sir.
I'm simply...
I'm not painting you out to be anything.
You are, though. You're saying there's several violations when there's
No,
not.
you're putting words in my mouth. I did not say that.
You're
I said
attempting
that
to
he has
have me
probable cause-
arrested.
He has probable cause to believe that you committed a violation of protective order, domestic violence offense.
Then you need to show me the probable cause.
No, we don't. We absolutely do not have to show you our entire case to arrest you.
You can't just go up to someone and arrest them based on hearsay. And that's what's happening right now.
It's not hearsay. Sorry about that.
Well, no one has shown me a
We're
printout.
going to come to an agreement on what I believe probable cause is and what you believe is hearsay. So.
Okay, well, let's take a moment then.
You're, we're not taking any more moments.
Lieutenant Lillenquist, we've got the day is long and federal rights are real. And I've provided a reasonable explanation in regards to the probable cause. Okay? It's something worth looking into for these two officers' careers.
Brotherson,
Yeah. Yes, sir.
let me speak with you, please.
Yep. Hey, sir.
I'm happy to
No.
go down and do a book and release.
Yep.
Well, like he said, we're gonna do the.
Okay, do you want me to call you back for the
side of
booking
it.
portion,
We
or was
don't
that
get to
it?
say if it's a book and release.
Okay.
Or not. That's up to a judge.
Yep.
Right.
His probable
Okay.
cause statement will go to a judge, he'll decide.
So now I go sit in jail with no bail for a month.
Yeah, sounds good. But
Like I said, I can't say that that's what's going to happen.
So
all right, Mr. Jarman. At this time, you
Okay.
are under arrest. Okay.
I'm just going to share that.
Okay.
I'm allowed to do this.
Yep.
As a citizen in the USA. I've made you aware of 42 U.S. 1983. Okay. You guys are, it's just my scribbled notes. You guys are arresting me without showing me any proof of evidence. I'm questioning the validity of this warrant or order in a reasonable way. It's 42 U.S. 1983. You can Google it right on your phone. I'm not an enemy, you guys. I'm doing this for all of us.
And I hope I don't seem emotional.
Well, but you're on the wrong side of federal law if you arrest me
What
based on the reasons you're claiming.
I have, and I understand, that's what I think everyone's trying to explain. We can't have court right here, but what I'm telling you I have, and if I'm lying,
Well, there have
as far as the liability side, if I'm lying, 100% I am liable. But I'm telling you I have physical evidence, which is probable cause to make this
then
arrest,
you need to show it to me.
which I will at trial. But for now, we're going to
Then
jail.
you can't
sir.
arrest me. You can charge me, and I'll happily
Sir,
go do a
let
book
me
and
ask you,
release.
let me put it in a different perspective. Let me say that you, and that this isn't what happened, just using really extreme terms because they seem to get the point across. Let's say I have a murder case. I'm going to arrest said murderer. Am I supposed to show the murderer the fingerprints, the body, all this before I effect that arrest?
Well, you probably are under the Constitution, but this isn't a murder.
It's not, but it's crime
We're
is
talking
crime.
about a butt dial. We're
When
not
it-
talking about 15 calls.
No, when it comes to,
Do you guys know what time it is?
I don't, sir.
So
About 12:15.
So again, you guys signed an oath to the Constitution of the United States of
Which, if I
America.
break that oath, I understand what you're saying. I'm liable, but I'm telling you, I am going to make this arrest,
Okay,
and I
well,
don't want you to
that's-
catch any additional criminal charges. So, are you going to fight us if we try to arrest you?
I'm not going to physically fight you, but I
Okay.
do need to inform you of these things, okay? Under the Constitution, if you're going to arrest someone, there has to be a trial and a conviction. There's never been a trial and a conviction of what you're claiming right
Well,
now.
I think what you'll see when we complete this process, I'm going to do what's called a probable cause statement. It gets submitted to a judge to be reviewed. When the judge reviews it, they say yes, he had probable cause to arrest without a warrant, or he did not, based on these factors. Which right now I do have probable cause to arrest without an arrest warrant.
Well, again, I'm questioning the validity of that.
Okay.
Under 42 U.S. 1983, that says if someone questions the validity of that, then it is a federal crime to arrest them. I would understand if I had made 15 calls. Yep, I get it. I simply saw that it looked like my daughter had called, and so I didn't even call. I sent a message back under my federal parent rights. So you guys, yes, you did. You signed that oath to the Constitution. Listen, the day is very long here, okay? And we've all been victimized by a lot of rough stuff, especially from Aja. We know she was involved in a murder in 2013 that no one wants to talk about. There's been plots against me.
Are you talking about the one involving her brother?
What's that? Yeah.
From everything I've looked at, he died in a care facility. But that, I understand what you're saying. I'm just saying that's what we have.
No.
Okay, but I don't want to sidetrack.
No,
Let's
that's
get back to
that's an actual murder that happened in West Valley. Her other brother, or her, stabbed the guy to death, their next door neighbor. And although it seemed she was there, her brother got blamed for it, but then 2 years later, he got out. And so it seems that she might have actually been the one to stab the guy. And I'm the only person who's ever questioned that because of things I experienced in the short time I was around her. And ever since then, it's been World War III to get me in jail, and then to have someone put a bullet in my head,
I don't want to.
and then have someone hang me with a bedsheet in jail and make it look like a suicide.
Unfortunately, we do have this protective order, which, as my sergeant explained, I have to enforce because it's a criminal protective order.
Again, I understand if there is a protective order, it was entered illegally. However, that's not just carte blanche to go arrest someone on.
Well, and I've tried to explain as best I can. I've looked it up. It says per judge, Stone, Judge Pueller. They were both served to you in person. You're aware of those terms. And then the probable cause, the evidence I have says you broke those terms of that protective order.
There is a difference, though, in that just because someone claims.
But I have evidence showing that you broke it. Made and attempted to make contact with Aja.
But you're saying that I did it multiple times, and that is the.
In violation of the protective order, which was served May 23rd and December 28th. But is there any other federal statute you want me to be aware of before I take you into custody?
Well, yeah. So there is the validity of the order.
Okay.
And I'm reasonably questioning that.
Okay.
And I provided an explanation.
It doesn't change the fact that the violation occurred. Just as, say, let me give you another example of a protective order. Say you and I are not supposed to have contact. I run into you at the grocery store, and you say, "Hello, Officer Brotherson," and then you leave. Reasonably, most people need to buy groceries. However, you're not supposed to talk to me. You should have just left the store.
Right, but if there was a child involved asking you for help.
I understand why you're saying you did what you did. However, it doesn't change that the violation occurred.
Well, again, it's a reasonable explanation for that. If you're telling me my daughter didn't call me, then that means, yep, absolutely.
And the evidence I've been provided doesn't say that. It says that you attempted contact, unsolicited.
Well, again, I'm providing a reasonable explanation for why that would have happened.
That's an argument for court.
I know, but what you're attempting to do is arrest me without a trial or without a conviction, and that's where it gets on the wrong side of federal law. Because I've provided.
How'd you get to the court today, Mr. Jones?
Well, I drove my car.
Okay, what would you like to do with your car?
Well, you guys are going to have someone kill me in jail anyway.
I have no intention of that, sir.
I know what happens in jail. I know what happens.
I am simply
And I'm
here
putting
because
this, I hope the body cameras are
Yeah.
running that right now.
They are.
Did you just turn it on, or is it the right?
No, it's good.
Well, again, if this were to happen where I do go to jail and I end up unalived or killed in jail, I've notified everyone. I've 42 U.S. 1983. It would probably lead to the largest wrongful death lawsuit because I'm already raising suspicions that I don't feel like I am safe in jail.
Okay. And I can let the jail staff know that, and you're welcome to voice that there also.
Okay, and I'm saying I would happily go down and do a book and release.
Okay.
If that means an ankle monitor, then fine, I'll put on an ankle monitor, and then I can be somewhere where I feel safe, at my own house with the ankle monitor on or whatever. But I do not, absolutely do not feel safe in any jail based on the pattern of law enforcement, how this has all come together.
Let's go down there then. You said you're willing to go down there.
To Salt Lake County?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me just make sure I've, again, something else that needs to be noted is that in any of these matters should have been dismissed because the plaintiff has never appeared for any of it. It's always just been, oh, he did this, and then I get cops in jail assigned to me while everyone else ignores everything else. Again, you guys, as law enforcement officers, did sign that oath to the Constitution, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. And again, there's the Fifth Amendment, life, liberty, and property. That's me. You're attempting to arrest me without a trial and a conviction, which is on the wrong side of federal law.
Okay.
You're attempting to arrest me in violation of due process. You're attempting to arrest me on hearsay. And again, I've provided a reasonable explanation to question the validity of a warrant or an order in accordance with 42 U.S. 1983 that says that anyone who has signed an oath to the Constitution and violates that is on the wrong side of federal law. Okay, and then
With your,
I didn't see the judge sign the warrant. Did you see the judge sign the warrant?
no,
Okay, then right there. How do you know the clerk didn't sign it? How do you know it's not a forgery?
I have it in the electronic system that we use that says these two judges issued those warrants.
And what were the judges' names?
Andrew Stone and Sandra Pewter.
Obviously, I've never heard Andrew Stone and Sandra Pewter. P-U-T-E-R.
I have written down P-E-U-T-E-R, but I may have misspelled
Okay.
it.
P-E-U-T-E-R. So you just acknowledge you didn't see that, so that could be a forgery? A clerk could have done
But I
it?
operate the system off every other protective order violation arrest I made.
Okay, well, that doesn't mean it couldn't be a forgery. It could very easily be a forgery.
But probable cause means that it's more than likely to have not occurred, which everything I have says it has.
Well,
But let me ask you this, because we're going in circles, but let me ask you. You came here, drove your car. Is your car parked legally, or is it at like a meter?
well, yeah, it's at the meter, but it's probably expired.
So I've never, if it's,
So I
if
have,
he is comfortable with it staying here, can it stay here? Or
Yeah,
what?
control room, if it's outside of the building, it's fine.
well, Salt Lake's. I mean, you guys, I'm gonna be in jail for a month with no bail.
Okay, so would you rather we have our city tow truck come and hold it in a facility?
Well, isn't it going to get towed anyway?
It's up to the city. I mean, very rarely do we have vehicles actually towed from here in this building. Because
Well,
we have free parking underneath and on the outside. We very rarely have parking towed, but if it's gonna be longer than 24 hours, I would suggest you have to move.
Oh, okay, so what are the options for having it moved?
Do you have someone who can come pick it up?
Well, as a favor to the sheriff department, I left the phone in the car, so I don't have the phone on me to call someone who could come pick it up.
Okay.
But I believe if got the phone out of the car, I could call a brother and he could come pick it up if I left a key in it, which would be helpful.
Well, I don't want to leave the key in it because it'll get stolen, but if you leave the key with me, or we can have him come to the station or meet one of us and not give him the key, because I don't want the key to get stolen in Salt Lake.
Okay. Well, yeah, there is. I mean, there is.
And you don't know his phone number off the top of your head?
Well, let's see. There's Wes. 801-414-5525 is what it should be.
Okay. Can we try to call him to see if he's able to come get the car? Like, we'll let you call him, but
Yeah. But
What was the number again?
try 801-414-5525.
Have the courtroom out here. So when we go, we'll just take them through here, downstairs, and then one of you can go grab your line.
yeah, it's just in the.
And just come in through the Fifth South and drive into the Sally. So if you go, once you come in through Fifth South, you'll see that they go.
So if I'm at the DA building, is there a way for me to easily get over there, or just do a lap,
You have to do a lap unless you go
come through the South Valley?
Yeah.
Is that the other entrance that we usually use?
It's the Fifth South entrance.
You
yeah.
could come through the Fourth South as well.
Either one.
And you'll see the Sally, the big Sally there.
Okay.
It's just easier they bring him down to the public.
Appreciate it.
What happens with my notes?
They'll be booked with you in jail. They'll put it.
Yeah, you keep all your paperwork?
So we'll take that with you to jail.
And is there a reason why this cannot be a book and release?
That's not up to us.
Man, I have probable cause to make an arrest, so I have to do everything I can to make that arrest.
Right, but then what happens when they hold me for a week without a hearing and
So
then a
like I
month
said,
without
that's
bail?
up to the judge. That's not up to us. So he'll do the probable cause statement. That'll go to the judge. They'll decide if it's a book and release, a promise to appear, or if they're gonna.
Well, you said you already had the probable cause statement.
Yeah, that's how I'm making my arrest. I wouldn't make it without probable cause.
Okay, well,
But we
again-
have to send the probable cause to the judge.
Okay, well, again, I think we need to get a supervisor on the line because
We've already done that.
how probable cause is,
Before I continue this route, what happened with brother? He didn't answer?
it ended up being the wrong number.
Okay.
So I would like the opportunity to call and have it.
Are you guys good if we give him a chance to get his phone out so we can try to get that car out of here? Maybe save you guys some hassle. We'll still go the whole way, but
All right, wait, no, are you just gonna take him down out the front side in handcuffs? Or?
yeah, we can go the same route.
He's ultimately the guy that makes all the decisions.
I prefer not to take a handcuff person to the public. I'd rather take it to the secure elevators just in case there's an issue, there's coverage, cameras. I've got a whole team of people that can back you up.
If someone wanted to go to the car, it's just across the street, the phone's in the.
Is it in Little America, side?
No, it's just on the street here.
Just stop right behind it if you
Yeah.
want. Go get it out.
I could give someone the key and someone's willing to go get the phone. I mean, I did, the sheriff today wanted to hold my phone and wait with me for the whole time, and to save him the hassle, I told him, well, I can put it in the car. So, I mean, I'm not, it's not like I'm trying to be a bad guy. I went out of my way to try and be helpful.
Let's do this. You are being arrested. So I'm going to put you in handcuffs. We're going to go downstairs, and then we'll get an opportunity. We're going to go find your car. We'll let you help us get the phone out. We'll make some calls and try to arrange your car, okay?
Okay, so just, I'll stand up and put my hands behind my back if that's what this is gonna be. But I just wanna write down everybody's name who's here right now.
Okay.
I think I'm allowed to do that. So, first and last names,
Braden Brotherson.
Ayden,
Owen.
Braydon, Brotherson.
Tyson Bucko.
Tyson. And it sounds like these two are involved in the arrest as well.
Yeah. Gentlemen. Excuse me. Gentlemen, I'm sorry. He just wants first and last names of everyone here.
We've met.
Yep.
Appreciate your guys' patience. No reason to
This is literally
make
my
it
job.
worse than it needs to be.
Well, I'm just telling everyone, the day is long. There's plenty of time to just pump the brakes and say, because this is putting a lot of people on the wrong side of federal law. Everyone signed an oath to the Constitution, right? To the Constitution of the USA.
Did you want this gentleman also?
Deputy Roy Meyer.
Okay. Deputy Roy Myers.
Head out.
Let me put this in.
During our entire interaction, our body cams are going to stay on. So you're aware.
So you guys know, okay, there is information about if I am killed in jail, it is going to come out in very public ways. And that's going to be not good for West Valley Police or anyone. And I'm just sharing this with you because we have the oaths, we have the Constitution. I'm being arrested without a trial and a conviction. I'm being arrested based on ideas of probable cause, which you haven't defined, you haven't showed me anything. And so I'm trying to figure out how that's possible.
Okay, sir. I need you to stand up. Put your hands behind your back, okay?
Let's go down to the car.
Okay, well,
Stand up. You said you would stand up.
I know, but
But if you resist, you're going to catch an additional charge. We don't want that. We've been more than patient standing here letting you talk.
and
It's not, nothing, I'll just be upfront with you. Nothing you say is going to change what's going to happen today. We're going to arrest you and take you to jail.
right.
Let's
In
stand
violation
up
of
like you said you were going to do.
And we'll stop at my car and I can make some phone calls.
To arrange pickup for your car. And then when you get to jail, I would suggest taking your phone because they're going to give you an opportunity to write down phone numbers and then you can make additional calls.
Right. There's trash here.
Because I've had warrant
Want to stand up?
where I just call can today. I got these are the hard to choose.
I've heard your side, Mr. German. I'm just working off a protective order. It's a mandatory arrest, and I've been provided evidence that says I have to make that arrest.
But
And I understand you question all that, but I need you to stand up and put your hands behind your back, okay?
I'm just setting this here.
Yep.
But you're doing it on
Okay, so stand up for us.
hearsay.
It's not hearsay. I have the evidence.
Okay, but aren't you supposed to show me the evidence?
Aj has been claiming these things for several weeks now, but just provided us evidence. I haven't arrested you until I've had the evidence because there was no proof.
But I haven't done anything. It's all made up.
That's not the evidence I have, sir.
Okay, but someone could.
And that's what court and everything else for, but is when I have evidence to make an arrest.
But you're still arresting me with. You can't just go up to someone and arrest them because
You're
a few
right,
people
but I
don't
can
like someone.
when I
You
have
can't
evidence
say,
of
well,
a
there's
crime.
enough opinions make probable cause.
That's not what I'm saying at all. I haven't said that once. I have physical evidence, and I have all of this documentation that says protective orders were issued, served. They have restrictions, and that those restrictions were broken, which is a Class A misdemeanor, and I have to make an
And
arrest.
I'm saying they're not.
I
I'm saying
understand.
I didn't do that. So
Which,
question.
from your perspective, I would say a good majority of criminals, for lack of a better word, when they're accused, deny, which is fine. And I'm not saying don't want to lump you with them because you're very respectful. But that being said, I still have my evidence that a crime occurred, probable cause, which per this particular statute that was violated, a protective order violation, I have to make an arrest.
Okay.
And you're saying you haven't been provided evidence and all this stuff, which is fine, No other suspect has been before until they go to court.
Right, but that's still, just because Utah or West Valley PD has a habit of doing that, that doesn't make it lawful. This
And
isn't.
it sounds like you have every intention of fighting this civilly and federally.
Well, it's an unlawful arrest.
Okay, and if that's true, I've told you I'm willing to accept those, but I don't believe it is, and I'm operating off what I have.
So is there a way to ask the judge who signed this that it be, well, the day is long.
No, I need you to stand up and put your hands behind your back, because you are under arrest.
Okay, but could we have it adjusted so that it's a book and release? Just
That's not
because
up to
I don't feel safe in jail and I'm saying that?
That's not up to me. I can note all that for you, but I'm not the one who says if you're released or not. That's the judge. And it's not any of these judges, it's whichever judge happens to be working the court, not the court, the jail docket for the day.
Right, sometime this week. I'm not going to see a judge for, I'll be in there a week or more.
I have no idea. To be honest with you, given that it's, what day is today? Tuesday? Most likely you'll see one sooner than later. Had it been the weekend, yeah, you'd probably be in there at least for the weekend.
I mean, I'm not a flight risk, and so there's not a way to put in a request to ask that.
No, because I have a protective order violation, and the reason domestic violence laws are written the way
You
they
have a
are,
claim of a protective order violation.
with evidence,
With claimed evidence.
with
And
as
with
good of
by-
evidence as
by
any other
its-
evidence
by
I've
We're
ever
just
provided.
speaking about the same thing over and over again. You already said that you were going to stand up and put your hands behind your back, right?
Okay, Mr. Sherman. Let's go get your phone and your car, okay? And start working on some
Okay,
of
so
this
you're
other
going to
stuff.
cuff me here, and then we're going to walk
We're
down.
going to walk through a
We're gonna
court.
go down through a courtroom, down to court holding, they're gonna go get their car, or at least one of them's gonna go get their car. They're gonna pick you up, they're gonna drive their car around, park behind your car, and then they're gonna work on getting your car.
Okay, so I still am not consenting to this.
I understand. That doesn't change the fact that I'm telling you you're under arrest.
So I understand, and I've been detained.
You're no longer detained, you're under arrest.
So, okay, so you're saying I'm under arrest for a probable cause,
Yep, an alleged protective order violation.
alleged protective order violation. I've provided a reasonable explanation why whatever happened. There hasn't been, it seems like a reasonable person would know that and acknowledge, okay, that makes sense. We don't have a criminal here. We don't have a bad guy. We all know butt dials happen. And I provided.
Yep, and I'm telling you the evidence I
explanation
provided
for it.
doesn't coincide with what you're telling me.
Right, and so you're saying this evidence doesn't coincide with what I'm telling you, but you're not giving me a chance to look at it and say, okay, well, show me screenshots or something where apparently there was dozens of calls. For all you know, and here's another reasonable explanation, she could have used another phone to spoof my number and call her phone dozens of times.
All things for court.
No, those are things for right now.
That's not the evidence I have, Mr. Jarman.
Okay.
That's fine. We can keep talking, but at this point, I need you to stand up and put your hands behind your back. You're still welcome to voice everything you're voicing, but you're going to do
Well,
it in
again,
handcuffs.
I'm providing.
Stand up.
Okay, you can cuff me and I'll sit back down and we'll talk about it.
Well, we're going to go down the elevator, and we're going to start working on. Step forward for me a little bit, sir.
I'm not complaining to you. I'm not complaining to this, and I provided a reasonable explanation for how any of that happened.
You guys just want more?
Yeah.
So, may I sit back down?
No, we're going to go downstairs.
We're gonna go downstairs.
I got it. Delta 54. You show me 82 with one. And you said you don't have any weapons on you, correct, sir? Should it? Just gonna do a quick pat down, and we'll do a better one.
Keys in my pocket.
Okay.
Two
Delta
that's my
54.
card.
That's 82 with one. We're gonna head this way, Mr. Jarman.
Okay, that's fine. Again, I provided a reasonable explanation that easily could have been spoofed phone numbers, okay? So do we all understand that?
Yeah, but I don't agree that it's reasonable.
But
Let's go.
Well, why not? She's done that before, and I've provided evidence of that. And let me tell you, even on December 24th, 2018, she filed a false report to West Valley PD and Unified PD.
We're going to go into this courtroom. We're going to take over to the right door is our holding cell door. We're going to go down into that area. All right. If one of you guys want to go get your car, I'll escort the other down.
Is it better to go back the other way?
That would be easier for you. That's probably the fastest way.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Thanks for your help. Appreciate the patience.
Hey man, personal courtesy, I appreciate your skill.
I try not. There's no reason if I don't have to.
I'm counting. You're counting.
Thank you. Well, I'll just leave it.
Got you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, it should be a Friday minimum, not
Yeah.
Tuesday.
After a while, they all blend together.
Understandable, understandable. Oh, I have to write that one too.
Go on wine. Hello.
Hello.
Leonard! Leonard! I'm on, by the way.
Okay, what do you need?
Are you like swamped?
No, what do you need?
So we picked up Jarman.
Okay,
We're gonna try. His car's parked here,
Okay.
and we're gonna try to make arrangements to have a family member come get it.
okay.
If I provided you with the key, would you
Okay.
be willing to chill at the apartment for
Yeah.
said family
I
member?
take it
That's
Aja called you guys yesterday,
good. Today.
today.
Butterfield's with him, so I'm gonna.
Where do you need me?
Well, we're gonna pick him up over there.
Okay.
So wherever you, I don't know. I don't
Where's
want you
his
to
car?
get roped in if you don't.
No,
have
you're
to.
fine. I'm available right now. But
Let me. If you want to just chill in your car, or you're welcome to come with me and drive. But we're gonna go. He said his car is somewhere over here,
okay, yeah, I'll come.
so we're gonna put him in my car. Okay, where's your car?
I'll just come with you.
Go get his phone.
Why do you have room for my tell me where the car is?
You know where? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's easy. I'll just call it in. I know where his car is. I'll take his key.
Do you maybe mind just following me in your car?
That's fine.
Because that way, because Butterfield's gonna have to hop in with me, and then we're putting Jarman in. And then that way we'll get you the key, make sure brother's on his way, and then
Yep, that's fine.
you can scoot. He tried to argue, and he's telling me, I'm like, look, man, I get what you're saying. We're not gonna have court right here. Yeah, so I guess they said do a lap and come in on 5th South and just drive up that thing, I think.
Okay, sounds good.
And we'll wait for you.
4090 South Redwood, Tango 347 Hotel Alpha. South Redwood, Center Glider, female, jeans, green sweater. One dog, clear me this up to 0. Light 12 at 12:30.
Hi, Detective Brotherson, West Valley Police. I'm trying to find the Sally port to pick up a prisoner.
Okay, sorry, you were saying it was West Valley?
Yeah.
Sorry, did you say you're with West Valley?
Yeah, correct. And
Okay, sorry, it cuts out a little bit. So if you actually want to back up, there's going to be some arms over there by the shack. I'll have you pull in through there and I'll let them know you're coming.
Okay, thanks. We need to go to the arms the other way. Oh, sorry, I was talking to my partner behind me. We need to back up and go the other way. Sorry, man. We're trying to find the Sally port. Okay. Sorry, man. Appreciate the help. Never done this, so. Jesse, shit. Thank you. So go to the arms, you said, just to.
Yeah, so I'm gonna head back up there.
Okay. I think we're going this way. Yeah, or you might be able to just park and chill and we'll come out this way. Whatever you want to do. Anyway, West Valley's idiots.
It's just gonna be this big black roll-up door that's right ahead of us.
Okay. And am I driving in there or just park outside it?
I will find that out for you in 1 second. If they ever shut up on the radio.
Does anybody know who's covering edit this afternoon?
I'm just gonna call them on the phone. It's gonna be quicker.
Oh yes, that's okay. Vehicle on the Brandon for Highway Patrol, 2700 south, 2700 west. Time up to 3 minutes. I don't guilty after I got off the freeway. It's the Black Chief Gladiator. Marshall, plate class 3 of 27 Juliet.
Yeah, what's up?
Now with long beard, blue shirt, surrounded with black symbol.
Do you know, do they want me to drive into that or just hang outside?
Yeah, just drive in.
Okay, thank you.
What? What?
29 west, 35 south, Tango 540, Tango Sierra.
What?
I would have never found you.
Yeah, sorry.
I don't want my body camera on me, so I'll use my phone.
Well, and honestly, if you even just, you're welcome to get out of the car, but like, there's not much for you to do for now. Let's see if we can get a hold of his brother. I'm gonna ask Butterfield maybe to like talk to Jarman and call the brother and stuff, so I can just start working on my PC. It's a good idea.
Where that? They coming down?
Yeah, somewhere. When we were coming down, he was like, honestly, it's probably easier if you go get your car and then bring it around versus trying to navigate this.
Yeah.
I've never done this, so.
Yeah, it makes two of us. I've never been in. I testified and everything today.
How'd it go?
Good, I think.
Convicted or you don't know?
I don't know, it's just really special. We'll see, we'll be fine. Prosecutor, the defense attorney only asked me 2 questions, very basic, which I feel like I already answered that question. So,
Was it Burso or was it someone else?
someone else. Someone I heard about. He said that he admitted to just open-handed side. It's okay.
We'll have you guys out just in a second. Thanks for your patience.
No, thank you.
Our radios are not working.
Make sense? Yeah, I did a quick pat down, like if it's immediate.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I'll just do a better search down here. And he's not gonna be happy either way. He tried to argue, and he was like, I'm gonna sit here. We can get a supervisor. And I was like, oh, you know what, man? I did all the things. I called him. I'm like, I'll call him. I asked Butterfield, I'm like, hey, well, me and Mr. Jarman are doing our thing. Will you call him and just let him know? Mr. Jarman says he's not gonna submit without a supervisor.
Stand right here.
All right, so you want to widen your stance for me? You have anything else illegal on you? If that's going to hurt me, needles and whatnot?
Not that I know of. I didn't have anything illegal.
Okay. And do your suit coat. If your brother doesn't answer, is there another alternative?
Yeah, there's a couple.
Okay.
So I would like to add, I don't think you were here, and I think this might be worth another call to the supervisor.
Okay.
Is that Aja is known to use screenshots in ways that would make it look like someone else did something.
Okay.
So because of
And you're good. You can stand up.
because of cell phone spoofing, it would be very easy. And I'm just, as a friend and a brother, I'm just saying that it would be very easy for her to have used, say, her boyfriend's phone and to spoofed my number and then called her phone again and again to make it look like it was me. This is something that happens, that people do. And so I'm just offering a reasonable explanation again as part of 42 U.S. 1983, that's a reasonable explanation for how this deception could have happened and that the West Valley Police Department could have been deceived.
Okay. Have a seat for me.
Especially because it's been done before.
So,
She's done this before.
the messages,
If I got to sit on it, could you loosen the cuffs just a minute?
they're as loose as I can make them. You got pretty big wrists. I'll scoot them back as best I can. That's as good as you're gonna get. You can try to lean it back. It's better than a patrol car, I'll tell you that.
That's
But where's your car parked, sir?
So I've lost my direction, but the street that is south of the courthouse, Fifth South,
So you have to go out north. Do a quickly on the block and we'll probably find it right here on the south corner.
Is it parked by the hotel or by the courthouse?
it's on the hotel side. It's a
Facing east?
It's facing west because that's facing because it's out one way. So it,
So just back in, do a lap.
I would just go straight out, go east on 400, south on State, west, and you'll probably see his car right on.
yeah, there's usually parking right by it. It's right there on the street. Thank you.
Thanks for
again.
your help. You guys don't need a case number or anything?
No, got it.
I'm gonna, if you don't mind, I'm gonna work on the PC. But if you'll like work with him on calling his brother and stuff. And then he said that if we can get the key, I'm gonna give it to him just so brother can go to the station and get the key and deal with it. Yeah. But
But you're
we'll,
just saying if we can get.
if we can get a hold of brother, yeah. For the time. I mean, once we get to the station, you can pass it back.
Yeah, tell me you're gonna give me the camera, go book it as evidence, book it as safekeep.
Nah, we'll do a driver arrest on the car,
Okay.
which sucks, but
Yeah.
can't leave it and they get towed if it's especially at a meter. But we'll try for a second. Just gotta put a seatbelt on. means it's recording.
So, I mean, if this is about anything else, you know, really about anything else, then have them talk to me, you know.
Okay. It's not.
I mean, there's examples that Aja has done this before, and
the thing that gets complicated, so we have the phone call from yesterday, which shows it was from your phone at the exact same time that you said you missed a call from your daughter.
Well, see,
so your phone, you attempted to call.
So it must have
Aja.
been a butt dial then, and then when I saw it, I thought it was my daughter calling me, and so that's why I sent the message. And I think that's a perfectly reasonable explanation.
And then the other thing that gets really difficult is, unfortunately, the way these protective orders have been drafted. It simply says no contact. Do not contact Aja, including your family wizarding app. Which I understand civilly can be confusing, but those are also protective order violations.
I thought that was a civil thing, that it was like, so that's why I used the app. I mean, because I thought, you know, again, I thought maybe it was my daughter calling. I mean, there's no pattern there, and so that's why I'm providing this reasonable explanation that we know that Aja has done things where she's taken screenshots and she leaves dates out.
Well, where I've said where we get complicated is the criminal. The criminal protective order says do not contact Aja in any way.
So I should have contacted the police and said, I think my daughter may have called me. But then the reason why I didn't do that is because when I requested a welfare check a week ago, the police told me that they said, you're no longer her dad. You're no longer Naima's dad. You don't even get to know where she lives. That was that was Officer Celentano with West Valley Police. I called and asked him to do a welfare check, and he called back and said, you don't even get to know where she lives. And I said, well, how is that even possible? And that you won't even do a welfare check on a 7-year-old. And I didn't call Aja after that. I didn't bring it up. It's clearly, now we know it was a butt dial, and then I saw it and I did what seems like the prudent thing to do.
Well, and you've been read your rights, and these are your statements, but that being said, you say it clearly was a butt dial. The evidence I have says that you attempted to call her.
It's that blue one there. Well, but now we know there's a reasonable explanation, because everyone knows a butt dial can happen.
Okay, sir. I'm going to have you work with Detective Butterfield here to try to arrange this.
Okay.
Are you okay with me grabbing your phone out of the car?
Yeah, I'm fine. The keys kind of, I don't remember who got them, but the keys were in my pocket.
I have your keys.
Okay.
Where's the phone at?
It's in the sheriff put it in a baggie and then slid it down he put baggie, so it's in a baggie on the side of the door.
If you're okay with it, I might just have him hang out with you.
Who?
Him. I'll just get him out of the car.
Oh, yeah.
Have him just chill, and he can make all of his phone calls and stuff. I'm just going to work on the PC. Go ahead and step out, and I'll have you just make whatever phone calls you need here. We'll walk around with
So would the plan for the key be to leave it with West Valley PD?
Well, let's
see how soon he can come,
Yeah.
and
If
we'll
he
go
can
from
get
there.
here quick, we'll stay here and watch him take the car.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. These are just part of the booking questions. I don't know entirely how it affects it, but based on income and stuff is how they determine bail. So what's your gross annual household income? How long have you lived at your current address?
12 years.
And are you enrolled in any type of education?
Well, just continuing ed for my real estate license. And I was looking into a program that was going to start this summer.
For real estate?
Well, actually, I was going to look at pilot school.
And it sounds like you do have family in the state that would, if for some reason they wanted a responsible party to, it says family friend that the individual believes would supervise if released. So you have family that would take care of you.
Well, I have a brother in the area, and
Thank you, sir. I don't think so. He's saying
I was gonna say I didn't think so. I couldn't remember. It was so long, so I was like, I just thought I'd bring it up just in case because I couldn't remember. Not sure I remember for myself. If you guys had left, I was like, do I need to fill out the form or not?
I think if he was gonna like not give it to someone,
Or
like
just
we were
leave
just
it
gonna
here?
leave it,
Yeah,
I'd be like, fine,
okay.
let's sign this. But
I agree.
since he's here and he's like, yeah, give it to my brother.
And I verified too. I asked him as well. I'm like, hey, you good if I give it to him? He said, yes, I'll give it to him. Huh? Is that brother?
I think so.
I think so. Which one does that? Yeah, Will's like, are you still at court? I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, can you run up to 49? I was like, no.
Yeah,
Not right now.
Sorry, I didn't mean to hold you.
No, you're good. He just needed to talk to you about it. I called you back, so.
Appreciate you sticking around though, just in case. I mean, I don't think I even need anything for business. But it would have been nice if it would have taken a little bit.
Yep. I don't know if you saw me. I was standing out there while you guys were talking to him. Once I finished, I was just hanging out, just waiting. Just in case.
So we're just getting out of here as soon as we can. We're just answering what questions your brother has, if that's okay. But if we try to get you out of here as quick as we can to get you out of cuffs and get this going.
sure. What do you guys do as soon as you go to pee?
When we get to the jail, I'll give you an opportunity. So, is it like, how bad is it? Because I'll tell him we gotta go. Okay.
Am I allowed to talk to my brother?
It's up to you on how brief you want to make it.
Yeah, if he's able to lean in at all, just so he knows everything's okay.
Okay.
I don't want anything too old.
Yeah. Just give me 1 second.
Have you seen any of his stuff online? I have. Okay. So that's kind of the stuff we're monitoring because he's like flyers at the police department.
Yep. Right.
So I agree. I mean, we're definitely, obviously.
Would you recommend that I wait to contact this judge, or would I go contact like Judge Faust? Because I think it would be.
So from what we've been told, they've ordered psych evals, and I don't know where that has gone.
Yeah.
But supposedly they have ordered that.
The problem is that if he goes on a really great day, he passes those with flying colors. Like, he's able to hold down a real estate license, he's able to hold down a really great job, he pays all of his bills, but it's when he's on these bad days that it just it snowballs.
Well, even when I've interacted with him, like he presents well, right? He's put together.
Yeah.
So I could see him easily fooling people, right? I know that there's also been talks about mental health court. They do have a mental health court through the justice court.
That's what I'm trying to work with NAMI right now, and they've suggested they just sent me, because they said, hey, when he gets arrested, because it sounds like it's headed that way, call us, and so they now know he's going to be arrested. So I don't know if, it would be better for me to contact Judge Faust.
Honestly, if you're working with NAMI, maybe you reach out and see if they have some better guidance. We'll put all that in the report too. And I think a lot of people are watching because he's so vocal and understand what's going on, but there's also the criminal element that we're trying to balance. You know? I don't know if he explained the CIT group, and
he didn't actually.
So we're with the mental health unit.
Well, it's crisis intervention team.
Okay. You said that. Yeah, I apologize.
But I didn't want to interrupt. However, your brother does say he really has to use the bathroom. He wanted to talk to you briefly if you'd like to.
Yes.
You can poke your head in. Just obviously don't reach in.
I won't reach in.
I don't want you in traffic, so right here is fine.
What's your camera too now?
Yeah. Mine died. I forgot I had my, because I worked overtime shift on Friday before I went.
That's the challenge.
I know, but they're watching
Were you recording and everything when they were talking? Like, it's cool if brother takes your car and stuff? Okay.
So this died in the Sally port right before we took off, and then I turned this on.
And he's been recording the whole time. He was there when I showed him the key too. I was like, yeah, you're gonna give it to him. Yeah, cool.
Okay.
I'll still write him tiny stuff that Butterfield requested I grab the key from the car, which I then grabbed and then provided to Butter. So I just see Butter said.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I didn't get to getting his info.
Make sure we get that. Because we definitely need
It's up to the judge, whoever the judge is today.
But he might be good.
Resource? Did you get like contact by chance? Like phone number?
I know that this sounds extremely restricted, but I would like to
We have his phone number written down.
contact Judge Faust.
Contact him. It sounds like he's going to try to help him out. So
Well, if I do,
it sounds like it is like a legitimate mental thing that just popped up.
Yep.
I told him, he's been cordial, and we have had him for a minute. If we get to jail and it's going to be a minute, I'll probably let him pee. Because it has been a while. And whatever, if he's going to do something, I don't think he will. You never know.
Yeah. I'm not today, so I'm so
Honestly, I was afraid this was going to take till like 5. Because I was like, dude, if he's the last court case to go.
Yeah, it's a long time. I texted my sergeant.
why don't I do
Hey, just so
that?
you know, I met with Jarman. He already knows Jarman because Jarman spoke with him as well. Just so you're aware. I think showed up for executive board.
Well, what I'll do is I'll take your car, so you'll have it, and if you are booked in release or whenever you come out, I'll have your car to get you. So you'll have a mode of transportation in which we split. Right. I know. I know, but you know them. If you tick the button, it's done. So. Okay, well let them know you have to use the bathroom. That's what he just mentioned. So you don't have to wait too long.
Yeah,
and then I'll wait for your call, and then if I don't hear from you, I'll call down to the courts and I'll try to get that in motion as fast as I can. Okay? Sorry, Mike. Okay, I'll see you soon. I love you, buddy.
And you got the key, sir? Sorry, sir, real quick. Can I get your phone number?
Sure, 8.
The ID on you.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't mind. If I just take a picture for
We gotta make sure you can actually drive the car away
reasons.
too.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah, you're gonna take the car. You actually can't drive.
Well, and more than anything, I just want to know who we're giving the car to. Just
We gotta document it.
That's okay. So, I've been waiting, like, for the right time to do this because I know it's not an easy thing to do, but he knows that I'm going to do it now because I just told him. I'll submit him for an impatient, like, against his will.
Like this civil process? Okay.
Yep. And Nami has set everything up for me to help him do that. So
we
that's
do
what's
have
gonna, I know that it's not the easiest thing, but that's what I'm going to do.
Well, I appreciate your willingness to help him out.
Yeah, I mean, he needs help, so. Okay.
appreciate your time, sir.
Sure.
Thanks for coming up. We didn't want to have to tow the car
You
either.
guys fill it up with gas?
Unfortunately, no. Hopefully there's gas in it. Hopefully.
Thanks, man.
I don't want to be a bother, but there's no chance of just running inside and using the bathroom here.
No, I'm sorry, sir.
No, hang in there.
But just 10 minutes, and
Okay.
once we get you in there.
Okay, fair enough. Sorry,
No,
I drink a lot of water. I usually pee like every hour.
I acknowledge this has been a long process, but I just didn't want to have to do anything with your car if I don't have to.
I appreciate that. That was very generous and kind. I really appreciate you for that. I know that you very easily could have just had it towed, so thank you.
So for that 1450 West Parkway, this is no Carpenter stairwell. We sure thought the 3510 West Parkway.
This is going to be two separate calls that failed that we described will belong to the one at 3510 West. But there still was an open lane within 51 meters to be addressed to your house with the male and female fighting in the background.
So, officer, you're asking about my brother. So yeah, we had this time it was about 10 years ago, and he thought that I was going to tell our younger brother something about him or whatever. So he showed up in the middle of the night wanting to fight, and it seemed like he had a weapon, and I just opened my door and just didn't let him in, and just told him, hey, we're all figuring stuff out, don't worry about it. But it seemed like he had carried that for a while, that he thought I had this, that I could tell our other brother, who were about 20 years older then, that I was going to tell him something about Wes. And I didn't have any intentions of that. And it took years to put that to rest. But along the way, I started to suspect about 10 years ago. I asked my mom if that was a possibility. And ever since then, she's just kind of been just like on a hell-bent rage against me. And so when I became a dad again to my daughter Naima, who's 7, as part of that dark silver bullet tactic, Naima's mom, Aja, contacted my mom and asked her to write a letter about me. And I don't dare read the letter, and I only learned of its existence a couple weeks ago, but apparently my mom wrote a letter and then got my 2 brothers to write a letter about me that my guess is maybe didn't contain the nicest things because of where everyone was at in their lives. But that letter those letters have seemed to resurface in the last few months and be used in other dark ways. So, but Wes and I, since then, I feel like we've been amicable, and we've started to understand each other's journey. And I told him, I just said, I don't need to know what was in the letters, but I just need to know if letters were written, so I don't run around telling people letters were written when they weren't, and then I sound like a crazy guy. And he said, no, we did. We wrote some letters and we gave them to Aja. And I just said, okay, well, thank you for telling me. I don't want to know what's in them, or I don't need to know what's in them. They're 10 years old, but at least now we know what has played a role in ripping our family to shreds. But things like this with Aja, it's, there's fake police reports. She's like on Christmas Eve 2018, she filed a false report against me with West Valley. And then when officers there didn't do what she wanted, she went over to Unified and filed a false report with them, saying the opposite thing on the same day. And this pattern of Aja's has gone on for long before she knew me or targeted me. But it's affected the lives and careers of dozens of people who get sucked into her stories and then go with them one direction, and then it ends up in these long chains of counterintuitive events, like this. And for me, while I knew Aja, her brother was in a high-speed wreck on I-15 running from the cops, and she claimed that her brother was just in a wreck. And I thought it seemed there was more to the story, and so that's when I Googled the name and found that the other records of her other brother in this murder in 2013 came to light. And what was strange about that is Aja had a protective order against her brother. His name's Ansumana. She had a protective order against him based on a claim that they got into a physical fight at their house. I guess they lived together. And then the neighbor gets murdered. He's stabbed by someone who reaches their arm through they knock on the door, reach through the door and stab this Ricky Henderson. And the roommate didn't see who actually did the stabbing. They just said that they saw a hand come through the door and stab him. And he ended up dying. But what was weird is, even though she had a protective order against Ansumana, and our daughter was born in those 2 years, when Ansumana got out of jail, the first place he went back to spending nights was at Aja's house, even though she had a protective order against him. And so there's all sorts of counterintuitive chains of events there. And because of other things I experienced, it seemed like maybe this neighbor, both neighbors knew things about Aja and her brother. Maybe they're a more than brother and sister relationship, and that's why maybe Aja wanted them dead. And maybe she put her brother up to killing him, or maybe she did it herself. And I know that sounds far-fetched, but if you read how the Choo-Choo Collins of Sim Gill's office, they botched the trial for the brother, and then just him going right back to her house at night, even with a protective order, it just shows how she will manipulate these protective order situations as it suits her, And then it doesn't help that her employers have a really controversial reputation as accountants, and they're also accountants for this Utah Adoption Center, where it has a little bit of a controversial reputation as it relates to what they call backdoor adoptions and things, where basically corrupt judges will force or steal children from separated parents and then traffic the children into these adoption schemes. There's huge money there. When you can force an adoption, you can traffic the paperwork at the state level, and it's called Title 4E, but there's every kid who they can do this to is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, because the federal subsidies are $5.8 billion. So it's a race for every state, these dark networks in every state, to force and forge as many adoptions as possible to take advantage of this Title IV-E. And there's people with stories who will call, and you don't have to ask them anything. You hear their story, and it's the exact same pattern of a silver bullet. Fake claims were made against them, and then their kids were taken, and then that's that. And it seems that part of that is that these judges are forging adoption papers without the other parent knowing. And in the case of my other daughter, who's 14, an attorney in Cottonwood Heights named Nate Wall forged my signature on relocation papers that he was paid to do, and then they showed the papers to my 14-year-old daughter, Nora, she's 14 now, and told her that I had signed her away. Then they put her on a plane the next night and moved to North Carolina. And when I reported the forgery all the way up through Unified PD, everyone said it wasn't a forgery, even though there's proof in black and white that there is. And there's an email from Nate Wall to Aaron Garrett where Nate Wall says, "I'm going to sign for Jarman," and Nate Garrett says, "Okay," even though they didn't have power of attorney or anything to do that. So he signed it, so that's a forgery, but all the way through everyone's office up to Sim Gill, they said it wasn't a forgery. And I finally realized, it's because there's already been adoption papers forged adopting Nora away from me, and that's why they had all said it wasn't a forgery, because with those adoption papers secretly signed, that would have made it irrelevant. So they said, it wasn't a forgery, but no one would talk about why. And I mean, it just, it seems like it's just something that kind of got away from everybody. Unified PD, SimGill, all that. The money's so big. All you need is one fake excuse. You know, a dad says a mom's crazy, a mom says a dad's crazy, and then it's just this slippery slope. And the attorneys get in on it, and they make bank. The guardian ad litem, the private guardian ad litem, they're billing $80,000 a month. There's huge pots of cash they can float around to everyone. And the crazy thing is in if you Google 31 judges recuse themselves, you'll find this exact same story happened in Missouri 3 years ago. And then there's another one titled 1,000 judges, or thousands of judges remain on bench after breaking laws and oaths. And so it shows that there's respectable news organizations who have identified this even years before I became involved in it, you know, and being a victim of it. And it's destroying everything that's red, white, and blue. It's destroying kids and families. And then you got all these trafficked kids growing up without a mommy or a daddy, and they grow up to be monsters, and by the time they're teenagers, they're in the system, and they're, you know, causing trouble, making babies, whatever, and it's just like this self-perpetuating destructive cycle. But I think it's just one of those things where everyone kind of thought they were just allowing maybe a little bit of something to go on, not realizing it's part of this huge scheme. Kind of like there's that movie with Denzel Washington where Dakota Fanning gets kidnapped and he goes to Mexico to save her, and everyone says, "Oh, I'm a professional, I just do this part of it, I just drive her from city to city," and they think that they're doing like this good thing where they're like, they've been told they're saving a kid or something, when really they're trafficking the kid. And that's why it's so unthinkable, because it's our own judges child trafficking our own children to get rich. And so we would never think of it, but everyone knows now that there's forgeries that happen in the courthouse. There's judges who have acknowledged that all day their clerks will sign court papers without the judge even seeing them. And so we know that it would be easy for a clerk to work with a corrupt attorney and forge something the attorney wanted without the judge ever seeing it. Like a full-on custody order, an attorney could write it, send it to the clerk, and the clerk would be like, boom. Or you've got attorneys just forging things left and right without judges even knowing. So that's why, like, my story, I've always thought that Judge Faust has just been manipulated into it. I don't think he knows that how dark it really goes with forgeries and stuff. And it's easy how it happens because they, you know, it doesn't take much to convince someone or to just say, oh, this mom's crazy or this dad's crazy. And, you know, it was kept secret for decades because most people wouldn't make it. You know, most parents wouldn't survive. They would feel so overwhelmed at losing their kids, they would either commit suicide or fall into drugs and alcohol from, you know, self-medicating. But through, and we all hate TikTok. We all want it to go away. But it's the only tool that parents, well, right now it's the best tool that parents are finding each other and surviving it and saying, okay, we know there's a pattern here in Utah, out of Utah, everywhere, whatever. And we know what's happening, and if we die, that keeps it all a secret. So we all just have to keep getting louder and talking about it, and eventually it will fix it for everyone. You know? But that's why I was in court today, was because, you know, for some reason Commissioner Manaus made that protective order based on a false report that DCFS even threw out, and they know that all you have to do is put that in and you can turn anything into something like this. But that's why my fear is that...
Hi, what are you bringing me? 1 male, West Valley, new charges, no assistance. Come on in.
But that's why I don't feel safe in jail, is because through the dark networks, it's very easy to have someone inside. And even Aja once, she had 2 brothers here, and this is important, but she had 2 brothers in here, and she tried to frame me one night saying I beat on her door of her house, and I had dash cam video showing I didn't. And they called to arrest me for that, and I said, you guys, I have video showing I didn't do what she says. And then they just hung up. And that's why the big thing is that for some reason there's this selective prosecution where they don't punish her for these false charges, and then it always, you know, keeps cycling back.
Yep. Give me one moment. It's freaking... Do you got the property? Do you mind if, while we head in there, like when we get done, helping them with the restroom thing?
Huh?
Do you mind helping them with the restroom thing?
Sure. I might actually have some stuff.
I mean, I think it's just we uncuff them, watch, or not like watch, keep the door open.
I've never done it before.
We'll talk to them and make sure they're okay with it, but if it's going to be a bit.
Okay to step
I got him, yeah. Okay. Yep, and we're good. We're just going to walk where the same gentleman is up here. Okay.
There's a way
Delta 54 arrived at ADC. If there's a way left, we'll look at that and make that way. Yeah, that'd be cool. Yep.
I swear,
what's up, sir? I mean, yeah, we're still at the jail, but yeah, we just. Can I call you back in just like 2 minutes is all? Okay, thanks. Go ahead, sir. We'll just follow right behind him.
Anything in their pockets? Anything in pockets? No.
Welcome to check.
Hang tight. 1 second, Mr. Jarman. Wait here. Scoot over here for me. We got in for a little bit. Be fair if you use the restroom, if we watch him.
Sorry, we're not allowed to do that anymore.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess per policy, just have a seat, and I'll try to make it as quick as I can, okay? I'll make it. Something happened. Or it's just a new thing.